Are you learning English? Great! Listening to stories is a fun way to learn English. It improves your speaking, listening, and vocabulary. Join Heartfelt English Learning and subscribe to Master English with engaging stories. My name is Clara. I'm 29 years old, and I live in a cozy neighborhood in Seattle called Fremont. It's a charming place with quirky art installations, coffee shops on every corner, and neighbors who wave as they pass by. To most people, my life looks perfect. I have a caring husband, a lovely apartment with a view of the mountains, and a steady job at a local art gallery. But deep down, I've been carrying a quiet sadness for over a year. 2 years ago, I made a choice that changed everything. I married a man named Daniel, who's 34. Daniel is wonderful, patient, thoughtful, and always ready with a warm laugh. He's the kind of man who leaves sticky notes on the fridge with silly drawings, who brings me tea when I'm stressed, who calls me his star, and hugs me like he means it. But the truth is, I don't love him. I married him not out of love, but out of pain. I was trying to escape the ache of a breakup with my ex, Ryan, who shattered my heart. I thought saying yes to Daniel's proposal would help me heal, that love might grow over time. But it hasn't, and now I'm the one hurting Daniel. Every day feels like a performance. I smile when Daniel makes breakfast, say thank you when he surprises me with flowers, and nod when he talks about our future. But inside, I feel hollow. One evening, we were sitting on our balcony, the city lights twinkling below. Daniel took my hand and said, "Clara, I know you're not all in yet, but I believe in us. I'll wait for you." His voice was so full of hope, but it broke my heart. I wanted to cry, not because I loved him, but because I was lying to him every day. My dad once told me, "Clara, marriage isn't always fireworks. It's about trust, care, and building something together." I tried to hold on to those words. I told myself to be patient, to let love grow. But the more I tried, the more I felt like I was disappearing into someone else's life. One Saturday, Daniel planned a special night. He cooked my favorite meal, lemon herb salmon with roasted potatoes, set the table with candles, and played soft jazz in the background. He wore the gray sweater I once said looked nice on him. "This is for you, Clara," he said, his eyes bright. "You mean the world to me." I forced a smile and said, "This is lovely," but the food tasted bland, the music felt distant, and I couldn't shake the feeling that I was playing a role in a story that wasn't mine. After dinner, we walked to a nearby park where Daniel had proposed under a willow tree. He pointed to it and said, "Remember that night? I promised I'd love you always." I looked at the tree, its branches swaying in the breeze, and felt a scream building inside me. "I don't love you, Daniel." But I stayed silent, not wanting to shatter his happiness. I felt like the worst person in the world. That night I lay awake, staring at the ceiling. I asked myself, can I keep living like this? The next day, my best friend Lila called. She heard the exhaustion in my voice and asked, "Clara, what's wrong?" I hesitated, then let the truth spill out. "I don't love Daniel. I married him to forget Ryan, but I'm trapped. I'm sad every day." Lila listened quietly, then said, "Maybe you need space to figure out what you want. Your heart needs room to breathe." I didn't know if space would help, but her words stayed with me. Later that week, I tried to talk to Daniel. "We need to talk," I started, but he cut me off. "Clara, I know you're struggling. Please, let's keep trying. I believe we can make this work." His hope was like a weight on my chest. I wanted to give him what he deserved, but I couldn't. One evening, Daniel said something that stopped me cold. "Clara, what if we started a family? I think a baby could bring us closer." My stomach dropped. The thought of a child in a marriage without love terrified me. "I'm not ready," I whispered, looking away. He nodded, his face falling, but he didn't push. His kindness only made me feel worse. That night, I wrote in my journal, "I'm suffocating in this marriage. Daniel is a good man, but I can't be the wife he needs. I want to leave, but I'm scared. Will people call me selfish? Will they say I didn't try?" The fear of judgment kept me stuck. One night, I packed a bag ready to leave. I stood over Daniel as he slept, his face peaceful. I wanted to walk out, but my feet wouldn't move. I sank to the floor, tears streaming down my face. The next morning, Daniel made coffee as always. He kissed my cheek and said, "Morning, my star." "We'll be okay." I wanted to shout, "Stop believing in us!" But I just nodded and looked out the window, watching the world move while I felt frozen. Weeks dragged on. I went through the motions, work, home, fake smiles. One Sunday, Lila invited me to a cafe by the water. Over coffee, she said, "Clara, you look like a ghost. You can't keep living like this." I admitted, "I want to leave, but I'm scared of hurting Daniel. Everyone will think I'm awful." Lila squeezed my hand. "You're not awful. You're human. Daniel deserves someone who loves him fully, and you deserve to be free." Her words gave me courage. That night, I sat Daniel down. My voice shook as I said, "Daniel, I need to tell you something. I care about you, but I don't love you. I married you because I was broken, thinking love would come, but it hasn't, and I'm so sorry." He was still, his eyes glistening. "I knew," he said softly. "I saw it in your silence. I just hoped I was wrong." Tears fell as I whispered, "I never meant to hurt you." He took a deep breath. "I love you, Clara, but I can't force you to feel what you don't. If you need to go, I won't hold you back." His kindness, even in pain, made me ache. We sat in silence, the weight of our truth settling around us. The next few days were quiet. I moved to the guest room, and we tiptoed around each other. Daniel still left coffee for me, but the warmth was gone. I told Lila I needed to move out, and she offered her spare room. When I told Daniel, he nodded. "Do you have somewhere safe?" he asked. "Yes, Lila's place," I said. He looked sad but resigned. "Maybe this is best," he said. Packing was hard. I took only clothes, a few books, and a painting I loved. Daniel helped carry my bag to the door. "If you need me, I'm here," he said. "Thank you, Daniel," I replied. "You were always so good to me." He gave a small smile. "Take care, Clara." I walked out, Lila waiting in her car. As we drove away, I didn't look back. At Lila's, I cried for days, not just for Daniel, but for the guilt, the fear, and the faint hope I felt. I started taking walks along the waterfront, watching seagulls and strangers living their lives. One day, I saw a poster for a pottery class at a community center. On impulse, I signed up. Shaping clay with my hands felt grounding, like I was rebuilding myself. I wrote letters to myself, private words to sort out my heart. One said, "Clara, you made a mistake, but you're not cruel. You were hurting. Now, be brave. Find your own path." Another read, "Daniel isn't your enemy. He's a good man, but he's not your home." Months later, Daniel texted, "Hi, Clara. Just checking in. I'm okay, taking a photography class. Hope you're well. No need to reply. I smiled, relieved he was moving forward. I wrote back, Hi Daniel, I'm glad you're okay. I'm in a pottery class. It helps. Wishing you happiness. It felt like a gentle goodbye. I found a tiny apartment near the gallery. It's simple, with white walls I decorated with plants and sketches. I make coffee each morning and sit by the window, watching the world wake up. I'm lonely sometimes, but I'm also free. I think of Daniel and hope he finds someone who loves him the way he deserves. One day cleaning out a box, I found a note Daniel once left. You're my star. I folded it carefully and tucked it away with a note of my own. Thank you for your light. I couldn't hold it, but I'll always be grateful. I gave it to Lila to pass to him. As time passed, I changed. I laughed more, made friends in my pottery class, felt joy in small things. One night, I looked in the mirror and saw a woman with weary eyes but a real smile. I whispered, This is my story, messy but mine. To anyone feeling trapped like I was, you're not alone. Mistakes don't define you. Be honest, be brave. Your heart knows the way. Thank you for hearing my story. It's not perfect, but it's real. Where are you reading from? Knowing you're out there gives me strength. Keep learning English with heartfelt stories. Like, subscribe, and comment your favorite story below. Join us at Heartfelt English Learning to boost your skills.